What's up, guys? Thank you for joining me. Last night was the Green Charter Township meeting, and before I get into the highlights of that meeting, I have a quick PSA. Last night, the board only allowed for 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after for public comment, and there were several people who did not get to comment because we got cut off at the end. Now, this is a violation of the Open Meetings Act, and the board, while they were deliberating at the end on whether or not they should give more time, was informed of the Open Meeting Act. So the violation is under 15.263, which I'm going to show you here in a second. But I wanted to say two more things really quick. First, sorry, I already said that someone informed them, so they cannot claim ignorance. And the second thing is that only a person in Green Township, a Green Township resident, can pursue legal action against the board for violating the Open Meetings Act. So do what you will with the information, but it's bullshit that people didn't get to speak, that the government, the board, silenced them. So other than that, everybody that showed up, there was well over 100 people. It was amazing. And it would have been even more amazing if everybody that wanted to speak got a chance to speak. But everybody that did speak, they articulated their concerns very clearly. And I've seen online a couple times the township supervisor belittling people's concerns. I even saw something about a tinfoil hat. It's completely disrespectful and uncalled for. He and the board are supposed to be working for the people of Green Township. And in this case, they're supposed to be working for the neighbors, the residents, everybody that's going to be affected by this project. So I'm extremely disappointed in the board for that. You could tell that they didn't want us there. The whole stream is online on Midwesterner, so I will have that linked down below. I highly recommend you go and watch the entire thing so that you know exactly what happened. Now, there are edits in it. I don't see anything edited out that was important. I think he was just trying to make it so that there's no downtime. But honestly, I prefer no edits because I'm a suspicious person. So I don't like editing. You never know what has been taken out. I try not to edit. That's why I live stream, even though this is only video number 23 and it takes 100 to get good, or at least decent. So I'm hopefully on my way to that, but I'm going to get into this Open Meetings Act. I'm going to show you. Let me switch over. So you go down to 15.263, and I'll scroll up so you can see this is the Open Meetings Act of for Michigan, for the state of Michigan. And you come down here and it says a person must not be excluded from a meeting otherwise open to the public except for a breach of the peace actually committed at the meeting. There was absolutely no breach of peace at the meeting. Everybody was awesome. I was thankful to have so many people there to voice their concern. It was only the second board meeting I've ever been to, the first one being last week at the Big Rapids Township Board. I'm not an activist. I'm just concerned about Project Elephant, and I started this channel I'm concerned about Michigan and this Project Elephant. So I started this channel to voice concerns that I have for this area that I live in. So anyway, enough about me. Let's jump in to some highlights. Now again, before I showcase these few bits, because I'm not going to play the whole thing, go to the Midwesterner to check that out. Thank you to that gentleman who was filming. But I'm going to highlight a few. And again, thank you so much for everybody who came out and voiced their opinions. I just can't say that enough. It was really an amazing thing to be a part of, honestly, and I know that may sound silly to people who've been involved in this kind of stuff, but the first meeting I went to was only like 40 people, and I was happy with 40 because it's better than none, but obviously well over 100 is much better. So, and thank you to everybody that I met. You were all really kind, and I appreciate you. So let's jump in. Hopefully this isn't too loud and distorts or anything. I tried to adjust the volumes, but again, I'm a noob.
My name is Teresa. I am the writer of these social media posts. I did not tell people to come here because it was on the agenda. I told people to come here because public comments. I'm here to talk about the fact that the founder of this company is a member of the Chinese Communist Party attempting to buy up over 500 acres of Michigan land using millions of dollars in taxpayer money, or that his son, who is the president of Goshen High Tech, is a member of the World Economic Forum. Anybody hear that? And the CPPCC, which means his values are closely aligned with the CCP. Didn't take much homework to figure all that out. I'm not here to talk about the fact that a Chinese communist company will exist on Michigan land tax-free for 30 years, even though that privilege has never been extended to me as a born and bred Michigan resident.
Yeah, no, not me either. I think she spoke very well.
I'm not even here to talk about the environmental hazards that this plant poses, even though it stands to be put on one of Michigan's largest watersheds in the state that flows directly to our beautiful Great Lakes. What I'm here to talk about is the fact that you are offering up this April forum as if you are trying to be transparent and allow for public discourse, when in fact the format that you are using is a tried and true tactic of old to suppress the public's voice and keep us from getting the answers that we are truly looking for.
I'm really glad that she's saying this because she has more experience with these kinds of meetings, obviously, and these tactics that are used, she's more aware of. So obviously any information that she can share is valuable in that respect. So I appreciate what she said. I don't like that the questions are going to be screened. I think that's really suspicious. I have a whole other video about it, but I'm glad that she pointed that out so that everybody is aware, that we are aware that it's not right. And we actually have people looking in to see if it's even legal. So, and myself included, I'm doing digging, but I don't know exactly where to look yet, but I want to know, is it legal to screen questions? Anyway.
I've been to these kinds of forums many times before and personally experienced being shut down because they did not want to answer our questions.
Yes, I hope you can hear this, by the way.
If you are truly seeking to be transparent and take the temperature of your community, you will open up this forum to allow back and forth public discourse with these.
Okay, thank you very much, New Beginnings, for joining me. Number 5 relates to public comment. A person must be permitted to address a meeting of a public body under rules established and recorded by the public body. The legislator or a house of the legislator may provide by rule that the right to address may be limited to prescribed times at hearings and committee meetings only. However, I forgot to show you these 2 pictures, and thank you for reminding me. I have this one from Michigan State University that says, "The act that no person may be excluded from an open meeting except in the case of a breach of the peace which actually occurs at the meeting." Further, an Attorney General opinion stated that any rule which has the effect of completely denying a person the right to public comment is invalid. So, for example, a board may not have a rule limiting public comment in total to 30 minutes or requiring comment to those who are residents of the municipality. So, that's Ferris State University, and then I have one other little thing to share I forgot. This is at the Green Charter Township at the bottom of this is their policy. The public comment section during this board meeting shall be limited to 20 minutes unless extended by the board so long as no one is denied the right to speak. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. This is Green Charter Township policy as of 2018, April 10, 2018. So, people were denied the right to speak. That is a violation of laws. The people should be allowed to speak. So if you are a Green Township member and you were denied the right to speak, you have every right to take legal action if you so choose. Thank you very much, New Beginnings, for reminding me of those 2 pictures that I had. All right. Thank you, by the way, whoever just joined me. Another one. Thank you very much.
experts you are pulling in so that we can have the public discussion that needs to happen. Otherwise, I will tell you now how this will end. It will end in a shouting match between the public you are suppressing and your board and or experts, and everyone will go home angry and dissatisfied and even more determined to shut you down. Mr. Chapman, I peeked your profile, and quite honestly, I expected to see posts supporting the Democrat Party and China Joe. What I actually saw was posts that might come from my America-loving Republican friends sitting here with me. Quite frankly, I'm appalled that you would even ever conceive that this would be a good idea to allow China into our backyard.
Sorry, that is really loud. Let me just mute that for her. Very loud, and I'm happy for it, but Jim isn't.
Well, I appreciate the expression of applause, and so we do want to get as many people in as we can.
You hear the chuckles because it is funny. It's obviously grating at him a little bit, and I like that because this guy should be working for us, but from where I sit, it's obvious he's not. I don't know if it's power or money. It's all speculation, but something is motivating him, and it's not the people that he should be working for, you know, the residents of the township. And that's where I stand. Let's see, I have a couple more. I think, let me run this for just a minute longer.
Yes, go right ahead.
Thank you.
Yes, I really wanted this one to be highlighted as well. This was a very great point on the farms. There is a war on farmland, guys, around the world. They want to starve us out, it seems. It's crazy.
I've lived here all my life. My entire family have lived here their entire life. What I feel so heartfelt about is the properties that's being talked about are farmers, on the most part, that bring all their lovely goods to Big Rapids and to Green Township. They have beautiful farms, they work hard, and they always have. And now this will change. I plead that we do not put this plant here. My goodness sakes, it's like telling Big Rapids that one, and they don't have to have it, they thought it's in this very same place that they voted down. And now it's a slap in the face to them that they thought that they made success, and they did not. It's hurting their right arm, which is Green Township, to Mecosta. Oh my goodness sakes. I couldn't feel much worse than I do. And I know that everyone does. I know that this group here values all this farmland and our farmers that work so hard to bring the goods to our grocery stores.
You need food, water, and shelter. Everything else is a luxury. Why would we get rid of our farmland when supply chains for food are decimated? Fertilizer, there's not enough fertilizer. They haven't been talking about it because they don't want panic, but we are in trouble. And so we need more food. We need to be growing more food here. What I always say is that this food situation is like the Titanic, okay? We in America are the wealthy people on the top of the Titanic. We're not going to get the water to us first. Africa, unfortunately, is going to be the first to starve. It's terrible, and it's all policies that have created this terrible thing. But food, I forgot where I was going. The food situation, unfortunately, the Titanic, I'm sorry. The Titanic situation, we are the wealthy at the top, but we're still going to have water come to the top floors. We're still on a sinking ship, y'all. And I hate to say that. I don't want to be doom and gloom. I have hope for the future. And I think that the good side wins in the end. I grew up on Harry Potter, okay? So I have hope, but I am very worried about our food. And this woman is too, and we should be, and we should not be selling our farmland for batteries, for China, anything else for batteries. We need to be growing food.
Us, and it's healthy. It's not full of all these chemicals and things that can come with food.
Travel Around Susie, thank you for joining me. Marshall meaning was the same. No property owners want these batteries, just the politicians. You're right, and there's a lot of money. And Whitmer is bringing it in from Davos. It's a terrible situation that we're dealing with. Michigan is, we're hosting the World Economic Forum down in Troy, Michigan. So we're a key to this New World Order Great Reset that's happening, unfortunately for us. But luckily we have beautiful people who know how to use their voice appropriately and will, and I'm thankful for that.
Sometimes. And it's our people from this county that are bringing that to us. That is what I choose to say. And my heart goes out to all of you. And I even feel a little bad for myself. Thank you for...
I'm gonna just mute the clapping because it's very loud.
Thank you. Yes, sir, go right ahead. State your name if you would, please.
My name is Matthew Mazinski. I'm also a father, husband. I'm an Iraq War veteran, and I could sit here and talk about all these things on here that are bad. 30 years tax-free, the pollution, the Palestine, Ohio. But the thing that drives me the most crazy about this is that this is a Chinese-owned company. The Chinese-owned company is a communist company. Why would you bring a communist company to Big Rapids, Michigan, when we have troops mobilizing right now to fight China? We're mobilizing. So why would we invite the enemy to come spy on us? All the things on here are bad, but the thing that drives me the most nuts is that it is our enemy, not the Chinese people. I have nothing against the Chinese people.
I'm so glad he said that, because that's what one of the attacks are against people that are worried about it being a Chinese company. People have been called xenophobic, which is absolutely crazy. Sorry if you hear my dog. We are not xenophobic. The people that are under communist dictatorship, I feel sorry for. I feel bad. I wish that I could help them. I understand what it's like a little bit to have a government that really doesn't represent you and seems corrupt to the core. And so I wish better for the Chinese people. I wish better for all people around the world. This is about tyrannical government. It's not about the Chinese people. And I want everyone to be clear about that. Those people are just like us. They're just trying to live.
Because they suffer under the same communism that you all are trying to bring here. It's disgusting.
Yes, he is really good. I wanted to highlight what he said because I think it's important, and our veterans' voices are not more important than anybody else, but they're important, and I thought it should be showcased. I too am a veteran, so I will admit bias where there is one. I love my veterans, so thank you to this gentleman for speaking. Everything you said was very well said. Thank you. I think that was it for this quick section. I have this other one though. We're gonna...
Hi, I'm Kathy Fleming. My family's been here for over 100 years, from the loggers all the way to Realtor Kathy.
I love Kathy. I got to meet her last night, and she is such a realtor. It's amazing. Thank you, Kathy, for speaking up.
You know, we love our area, and the people on 131, when it's Northbound Friday, they come here. I'm also a realtor. Who's going to want to live near this thing? I'm not in Green Township. I'm in Richmond Township, right?
It's not too loud for y'all, I hope. Please let me know if it's distorting or anything. I can't tell on my end. This headset is
Got the wind
sensitive.
air there, and I don't want this coming towards me. I don't want this for my grandchildren. I have 3 grandchildren. I do not want this for my grandchildren. I thank you for what you do.
Okay, thank you. Cool.
But you definitely have a crowd here saying, we don't want it here. And the fact that it's Chinese owned, we know that they own the land. The government owns the land. We know who they are. I agree. They're enemies. And we don't want them in our backyard. We don't want them here. Please don't do this. Hey, take an Amazon packing company any day over this. You know, or something maybe. I don't know. Who owns them? But I mean...
Exactly. Who owns them? Yeah. Again, food is what I recommend, but I get what she's saying.
Something less toxic, maybe. But yeah, China is not even afraid to say they're at war with us. I mean, they have said it out loud. How dumb could we be? So in our woods, in our waters, in our watershed, I mean, it's just Michigan is lakes and rivers and trees and deer and farms and 100-year-old farms. I say no with you all. You've all said great things.
What makes it so beautiful here.
Thank you, folks. That is a 20-minute.
Yep, there's the 20-minute mark. So we got 20 minutes before the meeting. And then I have a few more that I'd like to showcase. That was after they did their meeting. Leo, no. Go lay down. Sorry if you hear him whining. He's a baby.
Hello. Hello?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my name is Carl Stratz. Lived all my life here. I got a question. I've heard this is already a sealed deal. What we're doing here today is futile. Can the board answer this question? Is there anything the board can do to stop this?
Listen to his answer.
Well, I said we wouldn't answer questions. That question seemed to come up, and this is not a done deal. There are issues for the board to consider as we go along. There are issues that is no guarantee that Goshen is going to go ahead and complete the deal. So to answer your question, sir, no, it is not a done deal.
He didn't answer the question, though. He didn't say the board can stop this. That's what we want to hear. Can the board stop it? What he said was, we don't even know if Goshen wants to come. It sounds like, you know, Goshen might not want to be here because we're not being very friendly. Well, if that's the only way, unfortunately, that we can be done with this project, if we can get rid of this project and don't have it, is that they, Goshen, decide we don't want to be here. Well, I guess we'll take it, but it's pretty pathetic that our board can't answer the question. Can you stop it? And we called for a vote later on, can we vote on this project? How can this happen? And nothing was done about that. So it doesn't seem like this board and this supervisor are working for us.
Well, hold on.
All right, thank you. Jeff, go ahead.
I'm Lori Brock. I've been in the community for 39 years. Love this community. I was on the Chamber of Commerce, the Ambassadors, Builders Trade. I mean, I've given my heart and soul to be in this community and have a safe environment. My farm is a half-mile from where this is going in. Nobody ever said, is this okay? Is this what you want? You want an industrial plant that's dangerous and toxic in your backyard? I think this is pulled over our eyes very quickly, and I don't think it's right. And I don't think it's right by telling people that they're gonna get more money, because what it's gonna do is, say the people at Hayworth that have been paying taxes forever, they can't afford to pay the wages that Goshen can because they're tax-free. Why is a communist country getting tax-free money when our locals aren't getting it?
Right.
We're Americans, and we gotta stick together. And that's what this is about, and it's not fair. It's not fair. And it's not fair to pollute our environment. I mean, if you guys didn't realize, Dunsell Creek is a trout stream. That pond in my front yard feeds right into the Muskegon River. Do we want that polluting whole waterways? Nobody's even taking this into consideration. It's just pushed over our eyes. I just don't think it's right, and I think we need a lot more consideration, and I think this should have been on the ballot.
Yes.
Yes, there should have been a lot more transparency. I knew Lori in a different lifetime before I joined the military. She was a real estate agent then, and I believe she had beautiful Frisians, but don't quote me on that. I was really glad to see her there, and everything she said is true. I looked at that creek, and it was part of the reason I was worried when I found out exactly where this project was going to be. That creek does dump right into the Muskegon River, so it's worrisome, and she wasn't talked to about it, and it's right next to her, and I feel bad for her because she's got some beautiful land, and it should have been on the vote. I'll say it again and again. It's called Project Elephant. It's huge. Why didn't we have a chance to vote on it? Oh, sorry. Let me mute that. I wanted the guy in the blue is going to talk next, and it's good.
I said I'd go to the back first, so I'm looking at,
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Jeff.
You're just being a gentleman, Jeff. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Somebody has to. I've lived in this community for almost 40 years in Green Township, and my wife and I started from scratch our own business 30 years ago in Big Rapids Township. And we're proud to say that we've worked, to the heart, and love this community and planning to stay in this community. So I'm trying to collect my thoughts so I don't ramble. If anybody you know me, that's not easy. I get it. Okay, this community invested millions of dollars into an industrial park area 25 some years ago, and it's gotten no ROI, return on your investment. And this comes along, and I understand we would like to have sustained growth, and you're responsible as a board. I've been on.
Real quick though, I want to say one thing. Sorry to interrupt him, but it didn't just come along. This is the problem. Governor Whitmer and the MEDC, they are giving corporate welfare. Hey, come here. So it's not just that they decided to come here, it's that our government is actually inviting them by giving them money, like bribing them. So why are we bribing an EV business? If we're gonna frickin' bribe a business, let's bribe something better that makes food. Let's bribe something that makes water clean again or something. Like, let's get something good for the natural resources that Michigan has. Like, there are jobs out there. That dog.
On a school board, I know what it's like to have a position of leadership, and it's not always popular to make tough decisions. Okay? But we want good, sustainable growth. Somebody just mentioned Hayworth. When the people of this community rose and went to Holland and courted Hayworth and to Lansing to get tax breaks, and we brought Hayworth here and bought land in our industrial park that we have and brought those jobs here. It's possible we can do that. I get it. Okay? But this is not it. This is not what we want. This is what we need. Okay, I've heard all the comments and the ditto, and I won't repeat that. And so what my comment is, and really is, I wanted to direct to the board and to say to you guys, really, is this what you want? Is this your legacy that you want to look back and to say that you divided this community with people I heard earlier saying, oh, there's people that are really for it, but they don't want to talk about it, well, they should be here. Okay, they should talk about it. I don't know who they are, where they are, and I'm sure there are some. Okay, and I'm sure there's benefits from the university here. Dr. Pink, Ms. Pink, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. You are.
And see, I didn't know until he just said that because I didn't look around, and he came in maybe after the meeting started. He was sitting in the back. So Dr. Bill Pink is the Ferris State University president that just got put into place as president last year in May or March, one of the M's of 2022. So the deal was known in June of 2021 by these people. It just seems weird. I'm going to make a video specifically about it, and I've never met Dr. Bill Pink. I only know what I've researched, and that is he was appointed by Whitmer to be some kind of executive on the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So he's heavily involved. He was appointed by the governor. He's kind of a powerful man. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was placed into Ferris State University to help bring this deal in. And I know that I can't prove it, but I'm going to make a video and put the pieces together, and you can make up your own mind on whether or not he was placed there.
Our community, wonderful. Okay. But there's ways of going about it, building a sustainable growth and environmentally safe and American companies on American soil.
Right.
Okay, you know, like many of us rolled up our sleeves and did for years and planted seeds. So is this what you want, to look back and say, yeah, we brought this in and we cut this community in half? Families and people bickering among each other and arguing over. Is that what you want? Is that what you want, to divide and uproar this community? It's pretty obvious. I don't know how many board meetings you've had that had this many people this boisterous express your opinion. And as elected officials, as somebody said earlier, you represent the will of the people. This is a representative democracy that we live in, okay? And this is what we're expressing to you of what we expect and want for our community. We have federal, we have state, we have county. This is where the rubber hits the road. In 15 seconds. Yeah, by the way, you can take some of the 180,000 pot money and put it towards our roads.
So, good point there. The profits came in, it was like $800,000 for Green Township in profits for the marijuana businesses, the tax from the marijuana businesses. So he's saying, please fix the roads with that money. Why do we have to beg for our roads to be fixed? Don't you steal enough money from us, government, to fix our roads, to boost up our frickin' fire departments, to fix our dams? You know, there's dams all around here, and they're talking about retiring them because it's just too expensive. Why can't our tax dollars go towards that? This whole area is recreational. We would rather have the dams. We'd rather our taxpayer money go towards the dams. I mean, why can't we get a vote on that? Where does our money go? Why isn't it going towards what we want it for in this area? Why do I have volunteer fire stations, and some fire stations only have one truck, and it's crazy when the biggest danger is a fire for this area, I would say. Like, there's no tornadoes, there's no earthquakes. Anyway, I think that it's mismanagement of funds. I want them to stop talking about stealing more money from people and use wisely the money you've already stolen. How about that? So fix the damn roads. I think this
down the case.
Okay, so real quick, this gentleman is the only one in the room that was for the plant. And so I did want to say thank you for coming and having the cojones to use your voice, because it can't be easy when you have a room full of people that are obviously against the plant. So I disagree with you completely with what you're about to say, and I'm going to get to it, but I thank you still for coming and showing up and voicing your opinion. We don't always have to agree, but you should be able to talk. So
I live here in Green Township. I'm the minority in the room, so I want to say right up front, I appreciate all the work that you as board members are doing. I understand and know that you guys have way more information than we as the public do. In fact, I'm pretty sure I voted for each one of you throughout the many years that I've lived in this township to trust you, to trust the fact that you're going to do what's in the best interest of all the residents, not just the residents that show up, but all the residents of this township. And I want to thank you guys for that. I understand that I don't know all the details that are going on with this deal. I don't need to. That's what you guys, we voted you in to do that. We trust.
You can hear people say, and I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt it. No, that is not why you voted those people in. It's not to make this huge decision. It should have been on the ballot.
To make the best decision for us, whether we agree with it always or not. And I just want to say I thank you guys.
That's dumb.
To what everyone is saying about everything else, I'm going to say that I'm not sure that I know all the details. I'm going to hope that organizations like the DEQ are going to come in and make sure that everything's going to be safe. I'm going to hope.
Ladies and gentlemen, take responsibilities, please.
Talk to the people in Ohio.
Yeah. One more out, that's one warning, the door's that way. Sir, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm gonna hope that you're doing all of your due diligence, both legally, in accordance with the laws of our state and federal government. I'm gonna hope that you're doing all of your due diligence in what you believe is the right thing for us moving forward, not just for today and tomorrow, but for the next 30 years. I've talked to residents from other communities that have had large corporations come in Newaygo, in other areas, and a tax abatement is nothing that is unheard of. And I understand that that is something that you guys have to weigh very heavily on what that impact will have on our community, and I appreciate you guys for that. I also know that this is obviously not a popular thing with everyone who's here. However, I am trusting you guys to be able to put your best foot forward, to collect all the data that you can, and then come up with the best possible outcome for all the residents of Green Township. And with that, I'll give up the rest of my time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And see, after that, there's not a lot of applause for this gentleman, but it's not because people didn't want him to speak. We're happy that he spoke, but it's just a lot of trust and faith and hope in government institutions. And if you haven't been paying attention, our institutions are kind of crumbling. So to have such faith seems naive. And so I'm sorry to you, whoever you are, but I think that you're naive. I think that you have too much trust in the government, and I think that's why you didn't get a lot of applause. So again, thank you for talking, but you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. You're allowed to think however you want to think, but I am allowed to disagree with you, and I do. I do disagree with him. I believe that is the main voices I wanted to highlight, but please, like I said, go to the Midwesterners channel and watch the whole thing, because a lot of people said a lot of great things, and unfortunately some people were silenced because of the 20-minute cutoff afterwards, and so I wanted to say I'm sorry that happened to you. I wish that you would have been able to speak, and it's not right. So April 5th is the next meeting. I am going to go over to WZZM 13 in your side really quick and go over this article real quick with y'all. And then I get to go grocery shopping. Fun. So April 5th, 6:30 p.m., Green Charter Township. Show up with questions, but I don't know exactly what's going to happen with that because of the screened questions, and so I'll keep you updated though. We have a couple weeks. All right, 13 in your side. These people.
A proposed electric vehicle battery plant from Acosta County is supported by local governments, the states, and Ferris State University, but dozens of people who showed up at tonight's Green Charter Township meeting are opposed to it.
I'm going to talk
Chinese
over
company
her.
Goshen says their factory would create more than 2,000 jobs and bring billions of dollars into the local economy. 13 on your side's Micah Cho has details on what happened tonight.
The proposed battery plant to be built by the Chinese company Goshen wasn't even on the agenda to be discussed at the Green Charter Township's board meeting. However, a flyer was sent out to the public encouraging people to speak out during public comments, and every single seat in that building was filled.
I feel so heartfelt about is the properties that's being talked about are our farmers.
Eliminating farmland is one of the...
You can see, if you watch this, that's why legacy media sucks. It's like, really? You cut her off? Like, yeah.
concerns of those who are against putting an electric vehicle battery plant in Green Charter Township.
But you definitely have a crowd here saying, we don't want it here. And the fact that it's Chinese owned.
However, supporters of the project say Goshen will provide over 2,000 jobs to the area.
Who said that? I'm sorry, I'm going to rewind it. Who said
2,000 jobs to the area.
And the fact that it's Chinese owned.
However, supporters of the project say Goshen will provide over 2,000 jobs.
Supporters of the project. Okay. Well, again, if you look at a couple of my other videos, you'll see that they say it'll bring 2,000, but rarely does that happen. only 20% of jobs promised coming to be. And the MEDC is like 2.5%. It's crazy. So they say 2,000 jobs, but AI, ChatGPT, just hit the market like a couple months ago. It's going to completely change everything. And you think this is not going to be automated? It is. So this battery plant doesn't need human beings. But you know what does? Plants. Plants and animals need human beings to cultivate and to raise them. So
jobs to the area. When it was
can't
first
take our jobs,
proposed,
AI.
the properties in question for the $2.4 billion project were the Big Rapids Township Industrial Park near the airport and around 500 acres across the street in Green Charter Township. However, it now appears Goshen only wants to build in Green Township and not buy any land in Big Rapids Township. Hannah Sayes is the Big Rapids Township clerk.
As of right now, we don't really have an understanding of where we are. We basically were given a response letter from Goshen's attorney. They responded kind of insinuating that they were going to be focusing on Green Township's property and not Big Rapids Township's property.
Green Charter Township Supervisor Jim Chapman acknowledges there are still issues to be resolved, but the project has already received unanimous support by his township's board.
I don't know what that means. I really honestly don't. What do you mean? Because they said that they could do something about it last night, that even though they didn't do anything. But are they talking about the Renaissance Zone? Because that's the only thing I know that they unanimously voted on, to allow for the Renaissance Zone so that the project can continue. But I want to know what they're talking about there.
Goshen is working with some of the various state agencies at this point and getting some issues straightened out. There's still some questions from the Appropriations Committee. There's, I think they've pretty much got things worked out with Eagle.
I'm not sure that I know all the details. I'm gonna hope that organizations like the DEQ are gonna come in and make sure that everything is gonna be safe. I'm gonna hope. Whoa!
Green Charter Township, Goshen, and other key players in the battery plant's development will hold an informational panel meeting on April 5th to answer any questions or concerns from the...
But they don't say that it's going to be screened. This reporting. And the author... Oh, I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Supposedly a human wrote this. It might have been ChatGPT. The proposed electric vehicle battery plant from Acosta County is supported by local governments, the state, fairs. Oh, okay. That's the same. Did they just read this? The battery plant, which will be built by Chinese company Goshen, wasn't even in the township meeting. Okay. Yeah. So we just watched the article. All right. I don't even know how 13 in your side works. I don't really like them that much, but they were the first one to post a story, and they were there last night. The Pioneer has something I can go over real quick. State rep speaks up during Goshen battery plant discussion Tuesday. I want to encourage you to keep Green Charter Township green. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny that the state rep gets pointed out, but I guess I don't think this should be political. This should be bipartisan. Everybody should be worried about the environment, right? But for some reason, we're so polarized that we can't talk about this, even though it is about the environment. A huge concern is the environment. So I don't want to get political is all I'm trying to say with this. I think that everybody should be concerned, whether they're left, right, center, wherever you are, okay? Following the distribution of an anonymous flyer to residents of both Green Charter and Big Rapids Townships, encouraging people to voice their opposition to the potential Goshen battery component manufacturing facility in the Green Charter Township board meeting room was overflowing with people Tuesday night from several surrounding areas, including Republican State Rep Joseph Fox, which is out of Nuevo County. And I got to meet him, and he seemed really nice. That was the first time I met him. And again, I'm not into politics, so yes, he's a Republican, but it doesn't matter. He's a nice human being, okay? That's all I know about him. And I appreciated him voicing his concern and being there. So thank you to him. Green Charter Township Supervisor Jim Chapman told those in attendance he believed they had been misled by recent social media posts regarding the purpose of the meeting. As you can see or heard earlier, there was no misinformation put out. We were telling people, some of us were telling people, hey, come voice your opinion at the public comments because y'all work for us. And if we're concerned, we should be able to say something. And why weren't we informed of all of this well in advance? I apologize because I have the feeling that a number of people here were misled, Chapman said. There is no motion or decision or action of the board on tonight's agenda regarding the Goshen plant. Although that was promoted on social media, there won't be any discussion tonight from the board, but this is everybody's opportunity to present their point of view. Now, I'm not exactly sure how everything works, but I don't know why with that many people there, we couldn't talk about Goshen. Why couldn't we make a motion to put it on the agenda? I don't know how any of that works, so forgive my ignorance. Let me know in the comments if you know how it works, why they couldn't bring it up in the meeting. I'd love to know. And I am going to obviously learn as I go, since it seems big government and big business are working together, and I don't like that. So I'm going to voice my opinion on it. Chapman went on to encourage attendees to keep comments civil and professional. You have the right to speak and the responsibility to let others speak, he said. If you're unable to do that, we will show you the door because everyone has the right to speak without interruption. They do. Why didn't you let them speak last night? Why'd you cut it off at 20 minutes? Because you were tired of hearing it? Who do you work for, man? And again, the board was all informed that the Open Meetings Act allows for public comment until everybody is done saying their piece. You don't care? Well, there may be repercussions for that. During the public comment portions of the meeting, many in the audience reiterated the same concerns and questions expressed at many other meetings about the project, including concerns that it is a Chinese-owned company, concerns about air, water, and soil pollution, and the dangers imposed by the chemicals used in the processing of electric vehicle batteries. Yes, we will keep saying it over and over until someone listens to us. Several who spoke encouraged the board to reconsider the support of the project. Mecosta County Corrections Officer Isaiah Davidson urged the board to reconsider, referencing the potential harm to the natural resources of the area. I value the beauty of our natural resources. The right place only seeks to bring profit in for foreign companies and not to preserve our environment. Bringing this here will destroy acres of land, damage the watershed, pollute the air, bring toxic chemicals to our back door. For our children's future health, do not allow this plant in our community. Grant resident Doug Turner echoed these same sentiments, saying that the board decides about the plant could have an impact on every township, neighborhood, and community throughout the state. Republican Joseph Fox, 101st District, addressed the board, stating he has heard what the people are saying, not just in Green Township, but in surrounding communities. I came here tonight with many 101 District residents who are downriver and want to make one simple statement, Fox said. Food and water security is its national security, and we are messing with our national security. I want to encourage you to keep Green Charter Township green. Well said. Board members listened to the comments without addressing any of the questions or concerns due to procedural rules. I guess I need to familiarize myself with these rules since they're going to be violated. For the most part, the meeting was orderly. However, when Chapman stated the public comment portion was at an end, some in the audience decided to shout out their comments briefing, creating a brief moment of chaos, which was quickly brought under control. The Green Charter Township Board of Trustees will host a panel discussion at 6:30 p.m. Wednesday, April 5th at the Township Hall. Again, screened questions. None of these people want to say that. Why? Tell the truth. It's not like you get to go there and ask whatever questions you want to ask. It's being funneled. Your questions are being funneled. Chapman said he hopes to have representatives from various entities involved with Project Elephant, including the wastewater treatment plant that will accept affluent water from the plant, the Road Commission, the Department of Energy, Great Lakes and Environment, Fire and Rescue, Hazmat, as well as the Right Place, and Goshen, to name a few. My hope is to provide some facts for the public and not just politicians espousing their positions, Chapman said. The public needs facts. Oh yeah, they're gonna get them from you, huh, Chapman? You won't even recognize that the World Economic Forum is involved in this through Goshen's president. Chen Li is a part of the World Economic Forum. That's a fact. So why don't you talk about that? Do you not have any qualms about that? You don't care? That means Chuck Thelen works directly for a member of the CCP and one of the richest men in China. The Chen Li is the son of Zhen Li. I'm sorry if it's the other way around, Li Zhen. I've seen it in print both ways. And yeah, their family's worth $1.5 billion in Anhui, China. They're the richest family in Anhui, China. And Goshen VP Chuck Thelen works directly for Chen Li, part of the World Economic Forum, one of the young leaders. That is a concern for some people, and I know that he likes to think that our concerns are irrelevant, or he likes to say tinfoil hat and that we're crazy for having these concerns, but we're allowed to have them, and you should answer. You should, these are facts, okay? That's all I have for you today. I, once again, want to say thank you to everybody that showed up. These people, all right here, you're beautiful. I love you. And I appreciate you being there. Whether or not you agree with me, it doesn't matter. I'm glad that you were there to listen to what your neighbors were saying and to be involved. So thank you once again. I hope that I see you April 5th. I will be there, of course, and this time I hope I can record it. I don't have a mobile station. I don't have anything to go mobile. So I'm going to work on that, though, before April 5th, so that maybe I can live stream it. That's the goal. So please like this video if you liked it. Don't do anything you don't want to do. Subscribe if you want. And thank you again for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.